Hi, I'm Vicki from Champagne Photography.
And I'm Kelly Crysdale. I'm a registered veterinary technician working in the community here.
And Kelly has a lot of experience with animals. She's been working, well, she worked at the Toronto Zoo for many, many years, so she's a great resource. And today we're going to talk about these homemade recipes.
Things people can do at home to provide some care for their pet at home. There's a lot of little concoctions and potions that you can do in your kitchen. The first one I'm going to tell you about is golden paste. So that's an anti-inflammatory that you can make for your, I'm going to say for your dog, because it would be really hard to get a cat to take it. There probably would be some cats that would take it, but I think mainly dog. So it's half a cup of turmeric, a cup of water, and then you cook that into a thick paste. And then you add coconut oil, so 70 mils of coconut oil, and a teaspoon and a half of black pepper. And it's a real thick, as you can imagine, orange goopy paste. So the dosage, we'll put in the link for it. And then it keeps actually in the fridge for about 2 weeks. So if you make one batch of it, try not to keep it around for longer than 2 weeks.
Can we eat it? We might as well cook with it.
Yeah.
Just add it to chili.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely you can.
And so that will help with, that
helps with inflation, right?
Like so, is that a daily?
Yep. Yep, that's a daily one. So if you've got, I would say if you've got a larger breed dog, and you want to, he looks like he might be having trouble getting up and he's starting to, have some joint issues, you can do this at home, I mean, there are lots of commercial ones you can get that have multiple things in them, but a starter, if you can't, there's lots of people that can't afford it. Everybody can afford to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the second one
I'll do the ear cleaning solution. So we have lots of dogs with yeast to ears. Tends to be, not always, but those floppy-eared dogs that the air doesn't get into their ears very well. Sometimes you see, waxy buildup, or you might, have a bit of smell there. It's often yeast. You can brew a cup of green tea, and then you let it cool. Put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there, and shake it up. Let it cool, and use that to clean your dog's ears. And don't be shy with it. Good squirt in there. Proper technique for cleaning the ears. So you want to use a gauze square, some cotton, and you can. There's lots of videos showing you how to properly clean a dog's ear, and I'm not going to go into the technique for it, but everybody can safely clean their dog's ear without fear of perforating their eardrum. It's easy to do. The other thing is a natural flea and tick repellent.
Okay.
Not everybody wants to use pesticides on their pets. Right. There's a bit of controversy over them now, to be honest with you, and I think the benefit has to outweigh the risk for a lot of pets. So this is an alternative. Again, you can make it at home. Half a cup of witch hazel, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, 40 drops of cedarwood oil, essential oil, 2 milliliters of neem oil, and you can buy that in the gardening center usually. You can get it online as well. And 1 tablespoon of castile soap, so it's a natural soap. Mix it all together and put it in a spray bottle. It does separate. If it's been sitting, it does separate. You got to give it a good shake, and you can put that on your dog when you're going to go out and be exposed to, fleas and mosquitoes and ticks and whatnot.
So it's a repellent.
It's a repellent, right? So if you have, it's easier to see the ticks on a short-haired dog for sure, and everybody really should know how to properly remove a tick now because they're so prevalent, unfortunately, and they do transmit a multitude of diseases too. So that doesn't substitute for going over your pet, especially if your pet has long hair. You really should be putting your hands, and yourself for that matter, right? Put your hands on them and make sure and go over them and see if you find any ticks. Because the trick with if you have ticks, you gotta get them off fast. If you get them off within 12 hours, it's safer than
And so you make the solution, you keep it by the door, and just that's great.
And that one keeps you don't have to refrigerate it or anything.
That's great.
The last one is something that I use a lot of actually, and it's called propolis. And propolis is a product that the bees use, and they use it. It's a mixture actually of bee spit and what they've collected from the fauna around.
Okay.
So they use that to protect their hive. So it's got antimicrobial properties, antifungal. It's fabulous stuff. It comes in two forms. You can get it as a tincture. So the tincture is actually cut with alcohol. And then there's one that's cut with glycerin. Okay. The glycerin one is easier to take orally. I take it if I have a sore throat or whatever. The tincture, I've had very good, I've given it to my cats orally just as a tonic, but the tincture, it's really good for skin, skin irritation. So if you've got, hot spots or some sort of rashy business, honestly, you put it on and it's weird. It's like a resin, so it's kind of tacky. It kind of forms it. You drop it on and it kind of bleeds out and forms a tacky consistency. So it kind of covers the lesion, or that covers the irritation that's there. If the pet licks it, it's not a problem. They can lick it. You can make eye drops out of it. I have made eye drops out of it. I've used the glycerin-based one for the eye drops, and it's like a 5% solution with distilled water.
And so you buy the product or you make it? Sorry.
You can buy it. You can buy it. Yeah, Organica makes the glycerin one, and then St. Francis.
But it's all natural.
Yep. Yeah. You can buy it. You can buy it anywhere, and it's a real safe one for animals because, especially with cats, always grooming. So I do like the propolis. I've had some pretty good success with the propolis.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great information. Thank you so much.
Welcome.